Good evening, great minds. Strongly apologize for not have been. mm, we have not really had our sections last week. Strongly apologize. I was so choked with a whole lot of things. More, I know there are some couple of times I'll be giving out a class so that some of my guys will come take it for me so that we will not skip class again. So let's see how it goes. I will do all possible best to make sure we don't skip class again. We thank God for giving us the opportunity to be alive today. We thank God for giving us the opportunity to get to this level of our training. And like I say, I like giving some words of encouragement before we move forward to the deal of the day. Programming is something that will help a whole lot of persons. I am a beneficiary of that. So, but one thing that is growing currently now, the world is giving birth to mediocre developers. The world is giving birth to people that feel I can do something, but when they go in depth, they can't do anything. And that is wrong. We need to get to a point where we can develop, where we can be good, where we can stand out. And that only comes by practice, not by I am good, I am good. You can build some things, you can do this, but how often do you practice? How often do you spend time to learn, not to feel I am good? I know we say debugging, you get problems, you get bugs, and you debug it. At that process, you are learning. Fine, you are learning, but that is not the learning. It's way, way beyond that. That will just help you like build projects. But if you are going deep, there's some kind of debugging you'll be getting. If you are learning frequently, there's some kind of debugging you'll be doing. Maybe currently I know JavaScript. How good do I know JavaScript? Do I know it in depth if I close my eye, not copy and pasting code? Because many people now copy and paste code. Okay, ChatGPT is there. You copy and paste code, copy and paste code. But if frequent you copy and paste code, that makes you not really good. So if you're copying and pasting code, you can't really write an efficient code for yourself. That means you at the point is not really good. So you must be able to write for yourself to be good. So let's just go to what we have. Let me not really wear much. So because we only have time. Me on my own part, I have a whole lot of things to do today. My day is not yet over. So javascript.info. So we are done with normal just writing on the console. We want to go into learning how to manipulate the web. And the only way we can learn how to manipulate the web is through DOM and boom, DOM and boom, which is browser object model and document object model. That is the way we can do that. I think I'm sharing my screen. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. This is the way we can manage our browser through DOM and through BOM, which is document object model and browser object model. I think I have taught this, so we'll just go to where we stop. taught this, I believe so. Talked about documents. So let's just pad it with examples. How? So everything you are seeing on the web is a document. Let's go back to what our fathers used to do before. Now, before we used to share. Now, what the web helps us to do. Now, instead of before, if I want to present a project to somebody before, I have to print a whole lot of documents. And now that those documents that I'm printing, I have to share it to a whole lot of persons. I'll give it to Mr. A, give it to Mr. B, give it to Mr. C, give it to Mr. D. Imagine if I want to present to Nigerians. Then I had to print documents that will get to the hands of each citizen of a Nigeria, of our great country, Nigeria. I have to print a document. I have to print, not document, a document. I have to print millions of documents that will get to everybody. And now, doing that would take a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of strength and a whole lot of time. But with the web, we don't need to share the documents. With presenting on the web, you can present to even people that are not in this country with the web, with the documents of the web. So now I can, just like we have Google Meet now, I can come to Google Meet and share my screen, and I'll be presenting to somebody in China, somebody in Sierra Leone, somebody in Russia, somebody in Nigeria, and different part of the world. I'll be presenting to them. I'll be teaching them. I'll be telling them, okay, go to this particular line, go to this, go to the footer part, go to this particular page, go to this particular page, go to this particular, click on this drop down. It will take you to this page. I'll be doing that without printing any document. So what it done does for a document to print before. So now with that, we can access it on the web. So with it done, we can manipulate those documents. With the document object model, we can manipulate those documents. We can delete those documents. We can print those documents. We can do a whole lot with it done. So let's just go into practical aspect. I would like to go in depth while we are not doing practical. We have to be doing practicals as God helps us. Sorry, we have to pray. Sorry. Our most righteous Father, we thank you for your love, for your kindness, for how you have helped us. Father, it's not by our own making that we are alive today. It's not by our own strength that we are alive today. Your spirit has made it available for us. Father, O Lord, as we continue with us, give us retentive memory and come and teach us into this class in the name of Jesus. Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So now, we want to be able to access. So, okay, this array, let me just use DOM. Okay, so let me just go through DOM. Okay, now you can see that this is empty. So I have connected my JavaScript. I've connected my JavaScript to this, my HTML to this DOM. So I can do documents. Okay. So I can, you need to understand, we as human beings, we are objects. Ah, the blueprint of a class is an object. How will I put it? How will I put it that will make us understand? How will I put it? I need to get something simpler. As far as, just like we human being, we have properties that classify us as a human being. As far as we have those properties that classify us as a human being, we are an object. So I can come to, just like the way you can see now that we are building robots. I can build a robot that takes my identity, my thinking, my everything, because I am an object. I have property that classifies me as a human being and that classifies me that this is me. So for that, I am an object because I have properties. So the way to access properties of an object in JavaScript is by using the dot method, accessing the values. So now I can access the body now. Dot body, dot style, dot background color. You can do dot again. Equal to red. Let's try this. So you can see with this app automatically given from the JavaScript. You know, before when we started HTML, we were doing this. When we started HTML, we were doing this from what is it called? From the CSS. But now you can see that I was able to change the background color from our from our JavaScript. Wow! Because the JavaScript that you are seeing gives the dynamic value of the web, makes your website, your web page dynamic. So with the help of our JavaScript, our websites can be dynamic, can be manipulated on. I want to tell us now very well. Most of all these things will not be a challenge. But the problem about us is we jump steps. Some persons now might have started doing React, but they don't know JavaScript very well. They can't manipulate the JavaScript. They can't do a whole lot of things with JavaScript. So let's go deep. So I can change my background color. I can do a whole lot of things. I can do with. Most of these things I'm jumping on your own. Try to read it. Try to read it. I think we'll start from here. So the document itself has a whole lot of properties. Just like when you hold a file, a page file, let's say we hold a file full of contents, it has a whole lot of properties. So just like the website does. So now the document itself is the web page, the page you are seeing. This page is a document. So this full page you are seeing now is a document. So I can manipulate this document. I can do a whole lot of things on this document. Let's try something. Something that I know will work, but let's do that. Okay, let me copy this now. So you can still manipulate this. Are you seeing? Are you guys what I just did? So this is a document. I can manipulate it as I want. I can even change the CSS from here. So you can see that I've been able to manipulate this document. You can see it. You can see it. I can do a whole lot of things on this document. I've changed the color just like what we did on our own. You can see what we did on our own. We changed the background color from our JavaScript. So I've been able to also change this background color from through JavaScript because it's a document. So I can access the document at any point in time. So, well, let's just refresh this. We don't really need to do that. So what I want us to understand is that everything you have to work on, everything you have to do on on a document, on a web browser, starts from the document. Anything, even React you are saying, they still have a way of communicating with the document. The document cannot be taken out. So if like let AI grow, it cannot be taken out. It can just be faster. So now what this does for us, the document gives us access to a full page, makes you be able makes the developer being able to what to manipulate as much as the developer can. So now I want us to look at this HTML. So everything here consists of the document. Now, where you in terms of JavaScript, in terms of what's it called? HTML. I told us when I started talking about HTML, told us that HTML is divided into two parts. What and what? The header and the body. The header and the body. So the header is the dynamic part, is the meta part, which cannot be seen, which cannot be seen by which the user does not concentrate on. But the body is the part that is visible to the to the client, to the world. The body. That is why you can see that we are able to manipulate the body. You can also manipulate the header. You can also give the header title. Let's say you can see we have this now. Let me change the title. Documents. Documents dot header dot head dot title equal Joshua. So let's see. This did not change. Ah, okay. This did not change. I'll look for a way where how we can manipulate the header or think we can manipulate the header. But let's see. Well, at first we can manipulate the body, that's fine. I'll look for another alternative to that. Lowercase, uppercase. Okay. I think this one did not work. But I'll look for alternative to that. But the header is kind of the part we can't really do much on. But the body is what people see. So that is where we are going to be working with. So that is why you can see we have the document.body if inside the body. Document.body if inside the body. So now the body is what we're talking about now. So I want us to understand something. Last class, I was explaining something to us. I was explaining we have parent node, we have next siblings, we have previous siblings, we have child node, we have first child, we have last child, we have end child. So put this thing in your mind. As far as JavaScript is concerned, you want to start working with the DOM, want to start. This is what you need to put in your mind now. We need to put this in our mind. So, what is the parent node? Every child has a single parent. Every child, I'm giving you a way to understand this now. Every child has a single parent, but every parent can have more than one child, which is they can have children. So, in that case, let's go to our code. Let's look at the HTML. So the HTML now has more than one child, which is the header and the body. Let me collapse this so you see, which is the header and the body. The HTML now has is the HTML. It has more than one child, which is the header and the body. And now the header too has more than one, the meta and the title. Now the body has more than one, which is this, and this. But let's put in mind that every child, which is children, sorry, but it's still possible it can have a single child. It's still possible it can have no child. Let's continue. So, how can we be able to know the of our body? So let's see. Document. Let me use a variable. We already know about variable constant body details. Let's see something. Document dot body. document.body, no text, no, 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 dot append, no, dot after, dot yep, let's see this. Okay, let me console.log this console.log body of features. So let's refresh this. Okay, they say it's not a function. Okay. Yeah, the child knows now. Okay. So we can see these are all what is under the body. So we can see everything that's under the body. We can see all of them. We have the things stuff under the body. So we can easily note which one is the first child. Let's see. Let's do something like, let me do class, or let me do ID 01, and let me save this, and let me do first child. So you can see the first child is a div. Let me put something inside the div. Let me put something like a p tag, Joshua. So you can see something like this. So you can see futures. You can see this is the first child of the body. So this is the first child that he's talking about. So you can see the next element siblings, which has the 01 ID. So you can see it. So you can easily access anything from the JavaScript. So let's put that in mind. Let's put these stuffs in mind. So the parent now, I can easily use this ID now. Let me see something. Let me show you something. Constant first child, ch, document dot get element by ID. What did I use? 01 by ID dot parent node. I want to get the parent node of this. So you can see that we can get the body. The body is the parent node, console.log notify. So you can see that this is the element which we access through the element to access the body. So you can see we're able to get the body. We're able to get the body. Sorry, can I check, Mr. Daniel? Okay. Let me say, okay, how will I put it? Just like a chain, we use this as chain to access any part of the document. Just like I just showed you guys now with the parents, I actually use dot parent node to access the body. I'm still coming. I'm just trying to write down code so that you guys will see that these are chain. You can see the way they draw this. These are chain. So at every point in time, you need to know the one to use to access. If I want to access the parents of maybe a div, I want to manipulate the parents, maybe I want to spy the parents of that particular div, I need to know at that point, what will I use to access this? I need to use the parent node. I need to target the parent node of that particular div. If I thought, okay, I don't want to use the parent node of that particular div, I want to get to the next element. I want to get to the next sibling. Just like, okay, how will I put it? In a family of five children, the firstborn can most times the firstborn always take the place of the parents, can easily access the parents, can easily go to the father, can easily go to the mother. And at the same time, he most times that firstborn is likely to be the friend, the closest friend of the secondborn. So it's like a chain. If the firstborn wants to access the next sibling, which is the secondborn, he can access that. If that particular firstborn wants to access the parents, he can access the parent. So that is why he can also access the last child. So that is why this is a chain. This is also a chain in documents in the web browser. The parent node, I hope I'm answering your question, Daniel. Okay. The parent node is what we use to access the parent. The next sibling is what we use to access the next sibling. That is the next. You go to the second. You don't go to the parent again. You go to the second. Just like the second born now. The firstborn does not have a previous sibling. I think I'll use that to explain. Let me just draw. I think I'll use paint to explain this. Okay. In a family of father, father and mother. Now let's draw the firstborn. It's his big head, most times always stubborn. Let's draw the secondborn. Let's draw the third. Let's draw the fourth. Let's draw the fifth. So now, I want us to get this very well. Because once we get this, going deep into writing of the code will not be a problem. That is why I always take my time to explain this. So now, This firstborn, this is the parent node of all these children. This is the parent node, just like what we saw here. The parent node. This is the parent node of all the children. Now, put in mind that these children might, not might, in the future will get married and give birth to their own children, which each of them, at that point of them giving birth to their own children, automatically this parent node at this point becomes grandparents. Those children of each of these children now can't easily jump steps to go and access this particular parent. You get? So, but let's stick to what we have on the view now. This parent node, these are children, that is child nodes, which are child nodes. You can see it here. They are now child nodes. This is the parent node, while these are the child nodes. So which you can see here. You can see it here. Child nodes. So I can use that child nodes now. I can say for this document, I can say document.body.child nodes. You can see what we did it here. And we're able to access all the child. Oh, let me write it again. All the children, child nodes. So with this now, I can access all the children. I can see all the children of that document. I can use a div. I can see all the children using that child node on the parent. So if I use this child node on the parent, I get all the children. And if I use the parent node on the child, I get the parent node. Same as this. If I want to access the parent now, I use the child node. I use the parent node on this child and I get the parents. If I want to get the children now, I use the child nodes on this parent. I get the children. I think, are you guys getting? I believe you guys are getting. If you want to access the parents, use the parent node. If you want to access the children, use the what? Child nodes. Or you can use first child, last child, child. So if I use first child now on this parent, I get this guy. If I use last child on this parent, I get this guy. If I use parent node on this guy, I get this guy. If I use parent node on any of this, I get what? These guys. So you get, if you want to see the children, you use the parent, you use the what children, the child node, or the first child or the second child on the parents. If I want to get the parents, I use the parent node on the child to get that. So I think this explains how to access parent and child nodes. Now, after parent and child node, there is another important thing we need to put in mind, which is siblings. All of them are brothers and sisters. I have my siblings, I have my brothers and sisters. Looking at it here, all of them, we might have one lady here, and all of them are brothers, and they have a sister. So, if I want to, let me be sure no message is coming. Okay. Okay, thanks, Danny, for that comment. I am understanding it now. I appreciate that. So, I want to uh talk about siblings now. Like I said, it is a chain. Put the family in your mind. This is a chain. So you can still access siblings. I still have my brother, I still have my sister. You can still access them. So, but this is a step I want you to put in mind. If you want to access If this particular first son or first lady of the family cannot access anything called previous sibling, there is no previous sibling because he or she does not have anybody older than him or her. But it is always for him a next sibling. So for the first child of the family, he or she does not have a previous sibling, but he or she has a next sibling. So just like what we have here, previous sibling and next sibling. Previous sibling is backward, the person older than you. But next sibling is forward, the person you are older than, the next person in front of you. So that is what I want us to get. So with this family diagram I have drawn for us now, the first son does not have a previous sibling, but it has a next sibling. The second son or the second daughter has a previous sibling and has a next sibling. So if at all I want to access any of them using my JavaScript, after getting in contact with that particular div or text or anything, the next thing I'll add to it is what? Next sibling. Let's see. Okay, this is the O1. Let me see. You can see O1, which is the first one. That means, let's see. Okay, it has let's put it an identity here now. Let me use this to put an identity here. Please get this very well. Uh, O01. Let me use O01. So let me do something. O01 FCH. Do I can do next sibling. That means for this O01, it has a next sibling, which is this. But on this class, sorry, let me use ID. I will explain all of them. Class ID, I will explain all of them. Why we are using ID, why we are using class. O02. So, but for O02, let me put O03 here. ID O03. Now for O01, O01 does not have a previous sibling. O01 has a next sibling. So, okay, let me just see something. Let me just do previous sibling here. Previous sibling. And let's see what it will give us. Um, Indication. Let's take a look at this. Empty. Do we say anything that's previous? You can see previous sibling is what? No. Previous sibling here is what? No. It's giving us what? No. Yep. So you can see that the previous sibling there is no. Is no. It's giving us empty. Let me do something. There's something I'm looking for. So you can see no. Are we seeing the no? It's giving us no. That means there is nothing there. You can't get the previous sibling. You can't access the previous sibling. But let's try next element sibling. You can see we have gotten the 002. You can see 002. So we can access 002. We can manipulate 002 from 001. But we can't manipulate anything previous because 001 does not have anything previous. But 001 has next. Now 002 has next, has previous. But for 003, 003 does not have, 003 now does not just have previous but does not have next. You can see it here. 003 does not have next. So this is the way I want us to get it. When time you are thinking about this, put a family concept in your mind. When to access the next sibling, when to access the previous sibling, when to access the first child, when to access the last child, when to access the parent node. Put that in your mind. So let's continue. I think what I've explained makes sense to us. Okay, let's continue. Please, on your own, try to read this. You can see children. The only way we can access children is by child nodes, first child, and last child. Put that in your mind. I've explained it to us already. I think when you are reading it, it will not be hard to get. Okay. Elements only navigation. I think we have done justice to this. I think we have done justice to this. There is nothing remaining there for us to look at again. When you read it, you see that you understand it because I've done justice to that. So we can get details by get elements by ID, by query, by class, by so and so and so and so. So in our today's class, we'll stop here so that you guys can read this to this level. Done. Read from to this level so that you know once we get to this, I'm trying to take my time to so that once we get to React, what you know now is what you will use in React. So take your time, read this to where we stop. Read it to where we stop. I think we are here now. So you can read through another. So we are going to be doing more of writing of code and seeing how to access, how to remove an element, how to change an element, how to do a whole lot of things. We'll try and see that before we enter into bubbling and capturing another. Then we'll go into writing it and maybe an e-commerce website. We'll manipulate it from by ourselves and do a whole lot of things using local storage. I'll teach you guys how to use local storage to store data. And we'll just do that. Then after that, I think we'll just go once we are able to build the e-commerce, build it, and build on that thing, we're going to React. And that is where we're going to stop. So please go through what we have touched. I've used just we have explained this before, but I've used today to still touch it again down to this point. So we are not going to come back to that again. So thank you guys for joining today's class. We'll see you on Thursday. But if you have any question, you can ask. If you have any question, you can ask. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. I seriously appreciate your comments. Okay, since there are no question, we'll push for today.